back. All right, and we're suited up, and I'm ready to fucking go to the Uranus. Fuck. VecGnome's back, and we're ready to do some crazy cringe shit once again. And I'm back, and I'm queer, and we're ready to get cheered. All right, it's review time. I really hope this looks fucking good. Project Hail Mary. It's the latest sci-fi space movie uh starring the sexy man Ryan Gosling himself and his little alien friend that he will meet along the way. The overall synopsis of this film, non-spoiler, so for you little goofballs that don't want to be spoiled, of course, and I recommend you go into this movie with no fucking knowledge. But overall, the concept of the film is that Earth is going to die because a virus with a line decided to get the sun and go nom nom nom. Sun go bye bye, and then we're all gonna die. But then we find out it's not our sun, and many sun, except for one sun, one star somewhere that way, a few light years away, and pretty much there's a mission, Project Hail Mary. You can go and roll the credits now. They're gonna go in a ship and they're gonna go far away that way. I think I said I can't really see anything that way, and they're gonna try to figure out why this star is all good, and hopefully save Earth. And it's a Hail Mary because it's a Hail fucking Mary. It's the last thing we can do. So it's pretty much the non-spoiler review I can give of the movie itself. I'm suffocating. Hold on. Despite myself heating up like faster than the dinosaurs are in the oven, my little dino nuggies, that is pretty much the synopsis review of the movie. Overall, my quick little how I felt about the film. I really loved it. I think the movie is done really well, and I had a good old jolly time with it. So from here on out, it will be now the spoiler review, spoiler talk, me talking whatever the fuck I want to talk about. I'll figure out what I gotta talk about really. But overall, this is it. So if you don't want to be spoiled, leave now or skip to the very end where I will give the score of the film. Overall, it's time to get weird. Now, when it comes down to Project Hail Mary as a movie, the film does a lot of great things in the way of the tone of the film, the story structure, the cinematography, the relationship between the characters, and overall the ending. Project Hail Mary has two sides for its tone, having more of the serious, get down on the ground, you have to really feel the tense, goddamn edge of your seat moments, and on top of things with the comedy side of the film. Now, with having both sides of the spectrum, really, it doesn't under it doesn't undertell each other's sides, especially during certain scenes where, for example, they are on the green planet collecting a sample, and the film, the not the film, but the scene progressively gets more tense, more stressful, becomes more urgent, and with there are moments of comedy from especially Rocky Evil, it doesn't underutilize the scene or ruin it or take tension out. It does complement the scene and especially raising the stakes more and more until there is no more comedy. There is now pure stress, pure complete grief in some in other scenes. It Whenever there is serious moments, the film does understand to take a break from the comedy and utilize this powerful moment. Overall, both tones help the film in every way possible. And whenever we do get comedy in the film, it usually does help out the relationship between Rocky and Ryan Gosling and more make you feel for the characters, and then having more of the serious moments be used for other scenes like Earth scenes or to help build the moment of the movie. When it comes down to the story structure of Hail Mary, the film does not follow a direct linear path where how I thought the film would have been was like 30-40 minutes of the film would have been Earth scenes and how we get our mission, how we get to space, and then continuing on with a space setting. No, but instead the movie does follow more of the present and past model of storytelling, where the opening of the movie opens directly in space, and whenever we get a Earth moment, it would always be in the past. So throughout the film, we do get always the present of space, which is the current like mission model. And every time we do get the Earth scenes, we do build out the story of the Earth scenes to get where we originally started with the film, but also the Earth scenes helping continue and build the space story even more. And with everything, both the Earth scenes does give context to the space scenes, allowing more of a full circle moment with certain scenes. There was a scene where Ryan Gosling and Rocky are talking about the overall demise where Ryan Gosling will face, where there is not enough fuel to get back to Earth, so he's made peace with dying in space for the greater good of Earth and saving humanity. And there are moments where it's like Rocky doesn't know a certain word. Like, what is the word I would use to describe you, to describe this action that you've done or going to do? And Ryan Gosling uses the word brave, where then I'm not sure whether or not it is before or after, but there's a scene where Ryan Gosling is talking to one of the astronauts that would be on the Hail Mary or would have, and he then talks about like how are you accepting of literally just dying in space, and he's like I'm going to be brave for those that I care about, which then allows a full circle moment. There's many of these parts in the film throughout that helps build the context with the Earth scenes into space, allowing you to understand fully with the structure story model of this fucking thing. English can't properate. When it comes down to the pacing of the film as well, the story doesn't have pacing issues where you're in one setting, like for example, Earth scene. You're not dreading the Earth scene and wanting to go back into space every time. Whatever timeline you're in, you're enjoying it and you're seeing the or you're more understanding how we're getting to certain spots every single time. There's no problem with the story structure. It's done really well with certain films like this. It does really benefit in like how it's shot, how it's told, and matter of fact, it really depends also if it allows it to have good pacing. Now, when it comes down to the cinematography, I more specifically love the accents of how Earth is shot and how space is shot. When you see space, for example, it is beautiful, it is colorful, it is bright, it is gorgeous. Anytime we're on Earth scene, it is always gray, dull, colored death, and it has like it just feels like a damn terrible time, which allows it to really build the context of Earth is dying. We have one last mission where and in space where we have a golden bright opportunity. Let's use it. It is a great way to show the different times and parts that we're in. Overall, when it comes to the visual effects as well, it is done beautifully. The Interstellar team, I do believe, was on this movie as well, so the film looks realistic. I do believe the gravity thing is realistic. I might be completely wrong on that part, but oh, fuck, the hell do I know? I'm just a goofball in a helmet. But the visuals look beautiful. There's no point of the movie that I thought Rocky looked bad or his ship or any of the space moments looked iffy or anything like that. Overall, the film was shot beautifully and it really helped in the storytelling department of everything. When it comes down to the relationship between Ryan Gosling and Rocky the Alien, Rocky the Alien looks kind of like a hand, like a rock hand, right? He's like a little fucking five things, and he's got like a little asshole mouth thing that he eats from. It's absolutely fucking disgusting and horrifying. Probably the most terrifying moment besides the jump scare you do get in the film. But the relationship between Rocky and Ryan Gosling is probably the highlight moment of the film. There is no time these two ever get boring, and every time the movie progresses, these two just get better and better throughout the film. Having them explaining different parts of their species cultures, like a hug, for example, or how Rocky and his people sleep and how they, take turns watching each other. It's like it builds with emotional scenes and also comedic scenes. It really plays with everything and allows certain moments to be completely in full grief mode. There is a moment where the Green Planet sample motive mission thing, fuck, I gotta get that name is terrible, but uh, where they're pretty much having to go down to the atmosphere, wee, and they have to drop a canister and collect the sample on why this star is not dying. And they pretty much, where the film has just gets the most space thriller thing you would ever get. It just gets more tensified, 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 and it keeps going up and it won't fucking stop. I can't see my hand anymore. And pretty much it just builds every moment to a point where someone feels like it's about to die here, where Rocky will then risk his life trying to save Ryan Gosling and help him complete the mission, where we then wonder, is Rocky really dead? He doesn't die, thank God. Love that. But the film and the relationship between these two is so well earned, so well deserved, and where it does lead to the ending feeling so peaceful. And in the end of the day, it's like every choice that was made was done not because of the mission, but because of the love and care between these two. Overall, this film is a must see with your best might. It is fucking amazing. It's beautiful. Almost made me shed a tear. Unfortunately, I don't shed tears. I'm no fucking shedder. Lastly, the ending of the film. Now, this is a pretty long movie, being at 2 hours 36 minutes. So the ending does feel a little prolonged, but I'm not saying as a negative, but it could be seen as one of the moments of negativity in this film. So once they figure out how to do the cure and pretty much using the symbolism of life, because the green planet had, bacteria, and it's like life is the true answer to everything. So they figure out the cure and it destroys the cells of the virus, and they then put it in this little container that is made from Rocky's little like fucking Eternals design, like where he can just like make shit out of whatever technology his like people have, and they put it in this case that they call xenotic, xenotone, something like that. And pretty much the ending allows them to both conclude and go home both alive. Now, the cure does manifest itself to pretty much escape the capsule that they designed and starts eating the virus on the ship. Now, they not somehow, but they did use the virus into manipulating it to burn it as fuel, which allowed them to get out here light years away in under like 5 years. So it does eat away in their ship, well, at the fuel supply of the ship. But due to the cure escaping the xenotic material, where Rocky's ship is entirely made of xenotic, Ryan Gosling does understand that Rocky will be ending up dying a slow, painful, destroying death because the ship is entirely made of the xenotic material. And with him failing to get back home, his people end up dying as well. So Ryan Gosling ends up doing the complete final mission, sending the probes back to Earth and making a complete fucking U-turn to go save his big old fucking best all might. And he gets there. He finds him and they go home together, where Ryan Gosling's living for the last few years, and him teaching a class full of little rock spider children. So it's a nice little callback and a nice little conclusion, where the first time we see Ryan Gosling on Earth, he's teaching a classroom, absolutely loving it, knowing that that's what he'd rather be doing than the space saving the world shit. So it's a nice little complete character conclusion of him teaching a class once again. So honestly, the ending, even though yes, probably one of the biggest like cons of the film being a little bit too long and just kind of taking its time, it does have a very rewarding part and rewarding end to it. So, time for dinner time. Time for the conclusion and rating of this film. Overall, I really don't have any negative points with the film or cons or any pet peeves. It's really, in the end of the day, a really good film from start to finish. So I'm gonna have to go ahead, sit down at the dinner table, and give this movie a 9 out of 10 chicken burgers. It is almost a perfect film. I don't want to give it a full 10 out of 10. There are movies that I have, and I come back a few months later and really see that this movie is not a 10 out of 10 in my books or eyes anymore. So I do want to give it some time, a little bit more time to sit with it. Who knows? Coming back a year later, I will revisit the film, and who knows? It will either be a 10 out of 10 or keep its 9 out of 10 score. So, have you seen Project Hail Mary? If you're not, then here's this weird review on it. Uh, and if you were to go to space and if you were to, find a weird looking alien friend, would you want to befriend him? And if you do, what do you want him to look like? For me personally, a gnome with pigeon feet, a pigeonome or gnomigen. Maybe not that one. That one sounds like a bad thing to code gnome pigeon things. But that would be my thing. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got here. That's it. Okay. Good night and see ya.